Okay. All right. Okay. So, again, we are meeting again on 5th August, 2024 for evening program. So here, what we're going to discuss, about chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So far, we have already gone through first 3 chapters. Okay. Just to a short recap, chapter 1 is setting the scene. Chapter 2, Gita summarize. And chapter 3, we spoke about Karma Yoga. Okay. That how we can do our job without expectation, and of course in our personal application, how we can work without being very stressed out. So now we're going to talk on chapter 4. The chapter 4 title is Transcendental Knowledge. Okay, so chapter 4 is we're going to speak on transcendental knowledge, and here the main part is, in anything in life, whatever things that we do, we must have a source of authority. Okay, it is not something that we get it halfway, and we get it halfway, or we created something halfway and we start to introduce. All right, so all has to come through that thing called the parampara system. So what is parampara? The lineage. All right, or what they call the lineage. That means, for example, see, in our culture, okay, in our culture, the way that we act, the way that we perform, the way that the food that we eat, all these things are according to what we have learned from our father and what the father have learned from his father. Like that, it's all come under the parampara system. Okay, so this is called parampara, the guru disciple. That means the lineage. Okay, that's very important. And also, can we achieve peace, or can we achieve success in spiritual life by our own effort? Okay, like sometimes you see there is so many doctrine. All right, there's so many doctrine. They are talking about, we do not need to have a living guru. We just can simply accept an initiation from someone, a guru that has been lived before. And sometimes you don't even need a guru. Okay, like for instance, like when you look at other religions, they say, why you need a person in between? It's between you and God. All right, you have a direct relationship. Fair enough, direct relationship. But even direct relationship, we need to have a preceptor. Even when we talk about our material education, all right, say like Kribashini, she's doing medicine. She cannot say, I just go and read from a textbook or Google everything and I become a doctor. No, she has to be taught by a person who's living. Okay, a person must come and teach the art of whatever surgery and everything. So even when we talk about this material education, okay, which is not sustainable, for that we still need a person to teach us, right? We cannot like we do home studies and we just carry on doing this studies. uh, we Google the studies, or we download something and we study, and after that we go and pass the exam. No, it doesn't work that way. Even SPM, even STPM, even our college degrees, we need to have a person to teach us. And what about spiritual knowledge, which is so advanced, which is so deep, in depth? All right, so how can we do these kind of studies just without anyone, just by reading? Can you understand? Yes, for you may, I don't deny that, but still you need to have a personal teacher, personal preceptor to guide you accordingly. So all these topics will be covered in chapter 4. Okay, so before we start, let's put our hand together. We just offer our gratitude to all that previous acharya, preceptors, spiritual master and everything. Without their mercy, it is not possible for us to be here to discuss Bhagavad Gita in such a way that has been originally spoken by Lord Krishna. Okay, so Aiknan Om Aiknana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Darati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Utta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagarajadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vidam Cha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpade Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namustute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Jayapataka Swaminiti Namine Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaurakada Damadaya Nagaragrama Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasa Chadesatarine पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव शरि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे हरि ओम तत्सत। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रियेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भागवते उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। हरे कृष्ण। Okay, so we do a program for all right. Okay. So today we're going to discuss on chapter 4 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So before we start, let's offer I would like to dedicate this program to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And of course, this program is also inspired by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, who is a governing body commission and spiritual master. And also like to dedicate this program to my dear friend, His Grace Anadi Jagannath Prabhu of Bengaluru ISKCON, Sheshadipuram, creator and brainchild of the essence of Gita Gyan program worldwide. Okay, let's look at this understanding of Gita. Where do we get this understanding of Gita? We get it from the introduction. Of course, as I said, there are 30 pages introduction to Bhagavad Gita, and of course, it's very, very important to study that introduction, because in that introduction, you will get a rough idea what to expect in that book. Okay. Now let's look at this. So now, after hearing Bhagavad Gita from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna accepted Krishna as Param Brahma, or in other words, is called the Supreme Brahman. Okay. Every living being is a Brahman. Okay. All of us are Brahman. Every living entity is Brahman. But the Supreme living being, okay, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Supreme Brahman. Okay. Param Dhamma means that he is the supreme rest or abode of everything. Okay, he's abode. That means from him everything starts. Pavitram means that he is pure, untainted by material contamination. That means Pavitra means that means he's pure. Okay. And that means he's untainted by material contamination. So what are the material contamination? Like fear, frustration, anger, okay, lust, moga. I mean, all these are called the material contamination. So he's away, I mean, he's untainted. That means he's not touched by all these. Purusham. Purusha means that he is a supreme enjoyer. That's why in Tamil, we also call Purusha. The husband, we call it as Purusha. Okay. So Purusha means the one who enjoys, enjoyer. Shashvatam, original. Divyam, transcendental. Adi Devam. Adi Devam. Adi means supreme. Devam means the God. The supreme personality of Godhead. Ajam, the unborn. And the Vibhum, the greatest. Okay. Now, let's, after that contemplation, let's look at this Gita Mahatmya for today. So, as I said, Gita Mahatmya in Tamil, we call Gita Magime, or the glories of Bhagavad Gita on chapter 4. This is very interesting. So, Gita Sugita Kartavya Kim Anye Shastra Vistare Yasvayam Patmanabhasya Mukha Padmat Vinishrita. So, here it says, Because Bhagavad Gita is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, is spoken by him. One need not read any other Vedic literature. Okay, there are so many Vedic literature. Okay, first, the Vedic literature is such a vast, big body, and it's been divided into 4. And from that 4 was given to each disciple. Vyasa gave to each disciple, and from there they went and expand. So that means there are so many versions. There's so many Vedas, 108 Upanishad, 108 Puranas, Agamyas, Itigasas. Okay, so but what Lord Shiva was saying that one need not read any other Vedic literature, not necessary. One need only attentively and regularly. So we have to attentively and regularly hear and read Bhagavad Gita. In the present age, that means in this present age, Kali Yuga, people are so absorbed in mundane activities. They are so busy with all these activities which is not relevant. That is not possible for them to read all the Vedic literatures. But this is not necessary. This one book, Bhagavad Gita, will suffice enough because it is the essence of all Vedic literature. So what we have to understand, the word that we have to understand here is, okay, what are the essence? So that means this book, Bhagavad Gita, will suffice because it is the essence of all Vedic literature. What is that essence? When we take, say, like vanilla and we try to dilute it, or say, like, for instance, take the sugar, we try to dilute, that means all the impurities is gone. You get the pure element that called essence. All right. And of course, from essence, everything emanates. So the essence of Vedic literature, that means the basic, what is that you're supposed to understand in Vedas? What is that? Say, like, for instance, I go to school, I go to kindergarten, I go to school and everything. What is that ultimate goal? Ultimate goal is to have a comfortable life by making good money. So similarly, the entire Vedic literature that we study, what is that essence? Where are we supposed to lead? And what is that summum bonum? What is the ultimate goal of all the Vedic literature? The essence. All right? Because in Bhagavad Gita, they have the essence. That means the entire Vedic literature, when you churn it, you get that essence. And that essence of the Gita is in, the Vedas is in Bhagavad Gita. Okay? Why? Because it has been spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because as I said this morning, I think I shared that Krishna is the, what they call omnipotent, omniscient. Right? So they say, like, for instance, I, myself, this mic, myself, my shirt, me, the word I speak, my name, everything is different. But when you look at this, when we look at this Krishna, his dress, his paraphernalia, all right, his ornaments, okay, and the word that he spoke, there's no difference. There's no difference between Krishna and his name. When we use when we chant, we call upon Krishna, we are saying that actual Supreme Personality. There's no difference because he's omnipotent, omniscient. Okay. So this Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Krishna himself. That is why. Because in 500 over verses, Krishna summarized the entire thing. And Krishna really wanted to do this. Okay. How? We will study as we go on in Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So that's a Gita Mahatmya. So when we try to attempt to study so many other Vedas, we put that aside. We just concentrate and study Bhagavad Gita alone enough. Because that's what is recommended. All right. Now let's look at this. Okay. Now, okay. Vyasadeva. Srila Vyasadeva realized in Kali Yuga, people are short-lived, short memory, and they couldn't remember all those things. So what he did, he took the Vedic literature, he compiled it, he compiled the Vedic literature. Then after he compiled, he found it is such a huge book. So what he did, he divided the book into 4. The Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda. He divided into 4. So after he divided the thing into 4, he gave to his 4 principal disciples. The Rig Veda he gave to the Paila Maharishi. Yajur Veda he gave to Vaisampayana. Sama Veda he gave to Jaimini Rishi. Atharva Veda he gave to Sumantu Muni.
Yeah.
He gave all these 4. Someone is not muted, I think. Okay. Kindly mute yourself, please. Thank you. Okay. So this is divided into 4. So what happened? This Paila Maharishi, he further expanded the Gita into smaller portions, smaller installment, so that easy to study. So through his Parambara system, through his disciple. So Yajur Veda was expanded by Vaisampayana, and like that all the 4 Vedas. So what happened? Rig Veda. The Rig Veda, when you look at the Rig Veda was divided into 21. It was divided into 21 portion. In other words, every Veda they have these 4 things called Sanghita, like Brahma Sanghita and everything. Sanghita, Brahmanas, Aranyaka, and Upanishad. Brahmanas and Aranyakas are rituals, the all types of ritual that we are doing. So all these things. So that means Rig Veda was divided into, is expanded into 21 portion. 21 Sanghita, 21 Brahmanas, 21 Aranyaka, and 21 Upanishad. The Yajur Veda, Vaisampayana, what he did? He expanded the thing into 100 division. So 100 Sanghita, 100 Brahmana, 100 Aranyaka, and 100 Upanishad. And Samaveda, the Samaveda, that means Jaimini Maharishi, what he did? He expanded into 1000 division. So 1000 Sanghita, 1000 Brahmana, 1000 Aranyaka, and Upanishad, 1000 Upanishad. And Atharva Veda was expanded into 9. So that means 9 Sanghita, 9 Brahmana, 9 Aranyaka, 9 Upanishad. So in total, the Vedas was expanded into 1130 Sanghita, 1130 Brahmanas, 1130 Aranyaka, and 1130 Upanishad, like Isha Upanishad that we all study. This is how the thing expanded. So total, there are 4520 division principle. From there, it's even further expanded. That means it's going into millions. But unfortunately, during that the invasion of the Mughal, I think it's Nalanda University, when they destroyed, 70% of all the Vedic literature has been destroyed. Everything been destroyed. So the one destroyed and lost in horizon. So the one and only that survived, that what we are having is 30%. Only the 30%. And of course, what did Vyasadeva later he will do? He will further summarize the entire Vedic literature into Brahma, Srimad Bhagavatam, Brahma Sutra. He summarize everything in Srimad Bhagavatam. So they say whenever there's a Srimad Bhagavatam, is there, the religious principle will remain. Okay, it's been interesting. Okay, if any one of you have not read Srimad Bhagavatam, if you want to know more, you can also ask me. So it's a fantastic book. Okay, of course, it comes in 18 volumes and a total of 18,000 verses. It's very vast. That means from the day 1 creation until the final Kalki avatar, everything that a person need to know is mentioned there. Okay, so like this, the Vedas has been divided into 4520 divisions. So what is the conclusion of all these divisions? The conclusion of this division is to know the Lord, to understand God. That conclusion is presented in Bhagavad Gita in a very scientific way. Right? So that's the thing. So now we're going to start chapter 4, transcendental knowledge, because in chapter 3, Karma Yoga, Krishna is refuting so many things that what Arjuna was grumbling. Like he wants to be a monk, he wants to give up everything, he wants to go into the jungle and meditate. All right? And this thing. And now chapter 4 is coming and he's talking about transcendental, because transcendental knowledge. Okay. Okay. So what is the overview of chapter 4? What we were about to learn here. First is we're going to study about Divya Gyan. Divya Gyan means spiritual. Gyan means knowledge or intelligence through disciplic succession. What is Divya Gyan? About Krishna, how to attain God, Varna Shramam, approaching a guru, and glories of Divya Gyan is the overview of chapter 4. Okay, let's look at 4.1. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Imang Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan aham avyayam vivasvan manave praha manur ikshvakave bravid Shri Bhagavan vacha emang vivasvate yogam proktavan aham avyayam vivasvan manave praha manur ikshvakave bravid. It says, the personal Godhead Sri Krishna said, I instructed the imperishable science of yoga. What is that? Imperishable. The thing that is cannot be destroyed. Science or science. So he says science. It's not philosophy of science of yoga. To sun god Vivaswan. Okay, sun god Vivaswan. First he taught to sun god Vivaswan. And Vivaswan instructed it to Manu and the father of mankind. And Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku. So like that, the parampara started. The first Bhagavad Gita was spoken roughly around Earth years is 120 million years before. All right, 120 million before it was spoken. The first time. So what happened? So what Krishna says that instructed this to sun god Vivaswan, Mata Hari, or Surya Narayanan, Surya Bhagavan. He was the first to understand. And after that, he instructed to Manu. Who's Manu? Manu is the is the person in charge of creating man. All right, he's the Prajapati that creates human. That's why we are known as Manusya. Manushan, in Tamil we call Manushan, in Malay we call Manusya. Manusya, right? Or man. So that means he's the father of mankind, who is the disciple of Vivaswan. So Vivaswan he spoke to Manu, and Manu went and instructed to Ikshvaku. And from there started this dynasty, the Ikshvaku dynasty or the Surya dynasty. And who is that prominent person in Surya dynasty? It's Lord Ram. Lord Ram appeared in Surya Vamsa. And Krishna appeared in Chandra Vamsa. So Surya, this is a descendant. It's a dynasty. So like that, he instructed. Then after that, he said, Evang parampara praptam. Evang parampara praptam. Emang rajarshayo viduhu. Sakalineha mahata. Yogo nasta parantapa. So he says, Evam parampara praptam. He said the supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession. That means from there it comes under the parampara system. It is not something that created halfway by great philosopher or poet or an author or a what they call social thinker or reformer. Now we can see all these kind of people there, right? Like what they call Mo Zedong, or like this what they call Ambedkar. All these are great reformer, great thinker who created everything. No, it's not that way. It comes in parampara system. Okay, so it comes under the chain of disciplic succession. That means guru give to the disciple, disciple give to the guru. I mean, the disciple becomes a guru and give to his disciple, and that disciple becomes a guru and he gives to the, that is how it was coming down very nicely. All right, and after that he says, and the saintly king understood in that way. So this is how the kings understand, because the kings are very important. The saintly king, Raja Rishi, they understood it in that way. Okay, because it's comes under the Surya Vamsa Parampara. That means like Lord Ram, okay, and after that, what they call Lava Kusha and all this, the parampara. So it comes under that. So it understood in that way. But in course of time, okay, in course of time, that means when it's been running for 120 million, of course, in course of time, the succession was broken. Suddenly someone doesn't want to have disciple and he goes off. That's it. The succession has been broken. Okay. So then what Krishna says, Yoga nasta parantapa. And therefore, the science as it is appears to be lost. It has appeared to be lost. So everything that we understand. So then what happened? Krishna, now we understand the reason behind why Krishna wanted to create the environment for Arjuna to fight. Like there is many people are telling Krishna is Batu Api. You know, he should have stopped the war. Why he allowed the people to fight? Because that was his intention. That was his intention, to recreate the new parampara from Arjuna. So that today we enjoy reading Bhagavad Gita. All right. And of course, there's when we look at this Bhagavad Gita, there are so many versions of Bhagavad Gita, and of course, and all of us have to study this through the parampara system. So when you look at this thing, there are 4 original parampara. Okay, there are 4 original parampara. Okay, what is that original parampara? So this is the original lineage that is all which is bona fide. Other than these 4, everything that we see out, it is considered bogus, cheating. Okay, it's not comes under the parampara system. It is a mental concoction. Out of sudden, somebody, one guy just gets sleeps and just wake up. He feels I'm the guru, I'm God. That's it. He creates parampara. No, it doesn't work that way. So let's look at this. What are the parampara? What are the lineage that we should look? So there are 4 sampradaya. Number 1 is Rudra sampradaya from Lord Shiva, Rudra sampradaya. And they have a acharya. That means they have a main guru or preceptor. The main acharya for Rudra sampradaya is called Vishnu Swami. Then second, we have Kumara sampradaya. The Kumara sampradaya is a son of Brahma, the 4 sons of Brahma, Kumaras. Sampradaya. And their acharya is Nimbarka Swami. And there's a third sampradaya called Sri Sampradaya. Sri Sampradaya, the acharya is Ramanuja Swami. The Sri Sampradaya is very famous, especially in South India. When you go to Tirupati, when you go to all the South Indian Perumal temple, Vishnu temple, you see them. They will keep a huge tilak. They got a very big tilak. And in between, they put a red mark. That's a mark of Mahalakshmi. So their Sampradaya is from Ramanuja Swami. Okay. And now we have another Sampradaya. We call Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. Okay. But before that, let me tell you, the Rudra Sampradaya, the Sampradaya starts from Lord Shiva. Kumara Sampradaya starts from Kumara. Sri Sampradaya starts from Mahalakshmi, Mother Mahalakshmi. All right. That is why when you see the Sri Sampradaya, they do a lot of ritual. Because as how the wife serves the husband, Mahalakshmi is always at the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. If you see the deities of the reclining deity of Vishnu, the Lakshmi will be at the feet massaging. So she creates, the parampara come from her. So the parampara, they are talking about how we can serve the Lord in a very loving way. All right. That's why the Sri Vaishnavas, they have so much of ritual. Like when you look at Tirupati temple, the temple is only closed for, the deities are allowed to rest only for what? 30 minutes out of 24 hours. All right. Now the priest is saying, oh, my dear Lord, please take rest. All right. We got a big day tomorrow. Now kindly take rest. They just close. Before Lord Vishnu goes to sleep, they start Kaushalya Supraja Rama Purva Sangya Prabhatate. They open the curtain, wake up the Lord. And they have so much of ritual. Every hour they got ritual. That is what? Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. And our Sampradaya, there's another Sampradaya come from Lord Brahma. Okay. And Lord Brahma, Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. Okay. This Sampradaya means the Acharya is Madhvacharya. This is the Acharya. So one of that branch of Madhvacharya is Ramanuja. I mean, what they call? Is Raghavendra Swami. You know, I hope that you all know who is Raghavendra. You know that Rajinikanth actor in that movie, Raghavendra. And that Raghavendra is one of that branch from this Madhvacharya Sampradaya. Of course, it stopped from there because I think Raghavendra Swami did not initiate anyone. The parampara stopped. But of course, all the disciples just took him. Okay, they worship him. So anyway, so we are under Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. That means the Gaudiya means what? Gaudiya, Gauda Desh. Okay, Gauda, the India is divided into two, Gauda and Dravida. Dravida is the southern part, Gauda is northern part. And basically Gauda is the one that more prominent in Bengal, Orissa, all right, Madhya Pradesh. All these people are like Vrindavan, all these places you can see the huge influence of Brahma, what they call Gauda, the Bengali influence. And in South India, Dravida. Dravida means is South Indian. So that's why you see that everyone speaks a different language, but the tradition looks same. The way they tie the dhoti, right? And their language is almost there, almost same. So Tamil, Telugu, Tulu, Karnataka, Malayalam. So, and the writing also like almost there. So anyway, so we are from this Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Okay. So now when we look at this parampara, Under this Guru, this Madhva, Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya, let's look at the Guru Parampara. Okay. Guru Parampara of Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya, that means he starts from Krishna. Krishna initiates Brahma. Brahma initiated Narada. From him came Vyasa, Madhva, Padmanabha. Vyasadev's disciple is Madhvacharya. Then his disciple is Padmanabha, Narahari, Madhava, Aksobhya, Jayatirtha, Jnana Sindhu, Dayanidhi, Vidyanidhi, Rajendra, Jayadharma, Purushottama, Brahmanya, Tirtha, Vyasa Tirtha, Lakshmi Padi, Madhavendra. Like that, it goes down until this Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Gaur Kishore Das Bajbaji, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Prabhupada, and A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So that means the knowledge that comes, especially the commentary of the Vedas. All right, the understanding of the Vedas comes under this Parampara system. That is why we call it as bona fide. So when we come under this Parampara system, we do not speak anything which is not relevant. And neither any of us try to make a point or create some kind of new theory or theology. No. We simply repeat what we heard. But of course, the way of presenting can be different, right? The way of presenting, say like, for instance, I would like to eat sweet rice, right? If I like to eat sweet rice, the way I cook and the way you cook and the way the other person is, they'll be different. But end of the day, the essence is sweet rice. But the way they're presenting, the presenting is different. Presentation is different. Okay, like now I'm presenting to you. And when you see other people, the way they present to you can be different. But the message is that ultimate. All right? Okay. So now, after Krishna says that, I thought this Vivaswan, and from him everything came. So Arjuna became puzzled. All right. So what Arjuna was saying? Arjuna vacha aparang bhavato janma. Janma means birth. Parang janma vivasvata. Param, supreme. Katam etat vijaniyang tam adav proktavan iti. So Arjuna is saying, Krishna said, the sun god Vivaswan or Surya Bhagavan is senior by birth to you. He's very senior. Okay. You are talking about 120 million years ago, you said that you thought to him, but he looks so senior to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed the science to him? How am I supposed to understand? He asked very humbly. Why? Because he's already surrendered to Krishna as a disciple and I have accepted as a guru. So when the guru start to speak, they don't deceive. Even though he's a cousins and very close, they cannot say, hey, what are you talking, man? He didn't say that. He humbly asked how to understand that you instructed the sun god. So 4.5, Krishna replies, Sri Bhagavan Vacha Bahuni me vyatitani Janmani tavacha Arjuna Tanyahang Veda Sarvani Natvang Vetta Parantapa. The personality of Godhead said, many births both you and I have passed. You and I have passed. I can remember them all, but you cannot. O subdue of enemy. So Krishna is saying, we have passed through so many births along together, but I can remember them all, but you cannot remember. Then, so as I shared yesterday and even this morning, so these are the species of many births that we have gone through. Okay, we'll be also talking about these quite often, right? So that means we have passed through a life of 900,000 in aquatic form, in the fish or frog and all these things aquatic. We have passed through that. Then 2 million trees of plants. Okay, 2 million trees and plants. We have also gone through all these varieties of trees. We have also passed through 1.1 million insects and reptiles. Okay, we have passed through 400,000 humans and humanoids, varieties of human being. We have passed through 3 million mammals. We have passed through 1 million types of birds. In other words, we also have passed through 8.4 million species, and through that, we also passed through 8.4 million types of death. But only if we can remember all the things that we have passed through in our life, we should be, we will go crazy. All right? Or we surrender to Krishna, right? So Krishna has given us forgetfulness. So even though that we passed through all these births, we can't remember them. But Krishna remembers them all. Okay? Now, example, okay, now let's look at 4.7. Then after that, Krishna says, now Arjuna, after saying that, now Krishna wants to establish why actually he wants to come and teach. What is the reason? He must have reason to do so. So he says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanang sarjamyaham. So what Arjuna is saying? Krishna is saying, he said, whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice or descendant of Bharata and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. So Krishna appears to re-establish dharma. So when we are sentenced here to this jail, actually the place that we are living here is called Devi Dam. Okay, this call is Durkadam or Devi Dam. This area is considered prison. Of course, we discuss this in another 2 or 3 chapters down the road. Okay, so whenever there is there's a time that like example, when you look in prison, in that prison, whenever you see that the prisoners don't behave or there's some disturbance, so the federal agency will come in, right? The federal agency will come in and hit everything, whack everybody, and to re-establish the discipline. Okay, they re-establish the code of conduct. The code of conduct. So like that. So all that, whenever there's a decline, so whenever you see there's a kind of spiritually start declining, he descends. So either he descends or his son is an empowered devotee. Example, when you look in the Middle East, when you look at the Middle East, in the Middle East, there's a people who are shepherds, who rear goats. The shepherds are there. So there's a decline of this religious process. So Krishna sent Lord Jesus there to re-establish the dharma. So when we look at this, the idea about Jesus and everything, of course, there's a very broad explanation and discussion, right? But we just understand that way. Of course, when we have a chance, I would like to speak about that. Okay, what is that similarity and what is mentioned even in Bhavishya Purana about Lord Jesus? And secondly, when you look at another group of the nomads, okay, who would travel from one place to another place. So that means they need to distinguish. So that's when the Prophet Muhammad was sent to recreate the religious process. So everywhere that you see, they have to send someone to recreate. That means you have to, whenever there's decline in religious practice, Krishna send them to re-establish back. Okay. So now, then 4.8, Krishna also says, why do that? Why he need to descend? Why he need to come and re-establish dharma? Okay, the reason is paritranaya sadhunang vinashaya chaduskritam dharma sangstapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So what is the reason? He says to deliver the pious. So Krishna comes to deliver the pious and also to annihilate the miscreants. Okay, as well as re-establish the principle of religion. I myself appear millennium after millennium. Look at this. When example, when this Hiranyakasipu was such a nasty person, he came to create such a big horror. He was such a terror. He's a terrorist. Okay, nobody could stop him. So until he went to the level of killing his own child, because the child was not listening to him, he was so he was so not happy. No, he was like frustrated. Everyone sees me, they pee in pants, they shake to the core. But this young fella, my own son, not even scared of me. What a disgrace. So he decided to kill. So when the time he wanted to kill, and that's when Lord Narasingha appears, half man, half lion. He came and approached and killed him and to protect. Just imagine, this is one of my most wonderful artwork that gives me so much of solace. Just look at it. The way that Lord Narasingha Dev is hugging Prahlad. You know, it's so much of comfort, so much of it. That's what spiritual life and devotional service to Krishna is all about. Now 4.9, Krishna says, Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tatvataha tyaktva dehang punarjanma naiti mam eti sorjuna. So now, after that, Krishna's revealing another secret here. What he says, one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance. That means he knows the transcendental nature of my appearance. Like, what are the appearances? Like Kurma avatar, okay, Varaha avatar, Narsingadev avatar, Ramachandra avatar. So all this appearance, when a person knows all my nature of my appearance and my activities, okay, does not upon leaving the body, that means the time of death, he does not take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. So that is why we are celebrating all kind of festival. Okay, we are celebrating. Then soon is going to come the Damodara month, when we all are going to offer ghee lamp to Lord Damodara. So what are the pastime we start to remember on that particular month? All right, that's 1 month festival where this little boy Damodara Krishna was so naughty, he goes to his neighbor's place and start to terrorize. Even though the mother prepares the best yogurt, best curd and all these for him, but he loves to go to the neighbor's house, break the pot and eat. And no, he don't even break it. He just take all the thing, he mess up the place. He take all the curds and like to give it to the monkeys. He tell, my dear monkeys, during my Ramachandra, you all became my great servant. Today come, enjoy the curd with me. So he like to go around the house, all the gopis, he like to destroy. And he has another name called Makan Chor. Makan Chor means what? The fellow who like to steal, I mean, he like to, churi makan. Right? He like to churi and makan. He like to steal to eat. Makan Chor. Okay. So, churi makan pula. The one who, butter thief. Makan means butter. Chor means thief. Churi. Chor. So, butter thief. He loved to go to all the neighbors like to steal. So, that's a beautiful pastime that happens in the month of Kartik. That also leads to the month of Damodara, the month of Deepavali. So, during Deepavali, every one of us are simply celebrating with mutton, with wine and whiskey and all these things. But we've forgotten the actual reason why we should celebrate Deepavali. Right? So Deepavali has two meanings. One of it is, of course, the height of this festival, where Mother Yasoda will tie Damodara to the mortar. Can you see this? He was so naughty. Mother Yasoda could tie the Supreme Personality of Godhead to the mortar just by love. So Krishna can be tied. Of course. Then other than that, there's a day that also we put all that ghee lamp and all the lamp outside the house. There's another story behind it. It's like Lord Ramachandra. There's a time he returned from Lanka. He comes in Pushpa Vahana. He comes fly in airplane. So they put all the lamp to this. So at night, everything, so he could see the landing path. Right? So to celebrate the festivity. Because after so many years, when he went into exile, the whole Ayodhya was living in vain. They were living in so much of frustration. Right? People are so sad. They didn't even decorate that sad. They don't eat well. They all wear torn cloth because they can't have the separation from Lord Ram. So when they heard Ramachandra is coming, they immediately washed up everything. They start to light up the lamp, all festivity, all these things just to receive the Lord. So like that. Okay. Then comes a month of this month. So there's a lot of festivals like Janmashtami is coming this 26th of December. What they call 26th of August. Lord Krishna's appearance day, Janmashtami. Right? There's another big festival to celebrate the birth of Lord Krishna. So like that, that's why we are celebrating all these festivals. And some people say, why? I mean, why? Because that's what Krishna says. Janma karma cha me divin. That means whoever. Janma means birth. Karma means activity. Cha me. Me means me. Divyam, which is auspicious. So he says, those who know my transcendental appearance and activities does not, what they call, take birth again. Okay, when he can just remember this at the time of death. 410. Okay, what Krishna says. Vittaraga bhaya krodha manmaya mam upashrita bahavo jnana tapasa puta madbhavam agata. So now Krishna says, being freed from attachment. Okay, we have so much attachment, right? So now we say example, what will happen when we get freed from attachment, fear and anger. So attachment, fear and anger is one of the biggest quality of Kali Yuga Vasi. The biggest impure attachment to this material world is attachment, fear and anger. So now Krishna says being freed from that, being fully absorbed now in me and take refuge in me. Many persons in the past become purified by the knowledge of me, and thus they all attain transcendental love for me. So now Krishna is start revealing himself. Sometimes people ask, did Krishna tell that? Kadal Ketara. That's a very favorite thing that Indians or sometimes like to ask. God asked you to do that. God asked that. Yes, he says that. What he says, get freed from attachment, fear, and anger. Then after that, fully absorb in me. Absorb in me is thinking about him, being fully Krishna conscious. Okay. And taking refuge. That means we just depend on Krishna. That's it. We become a refugee. We just take refuge of him. So Krishna says many people in the past became purified. How? By knowledge, not by speculation or not by imagination. Okay, by knowledge, and thus they all attain transcendental love for me. So this is something very important. If you all have a, wait, let me see, just lower my hand. Okay. If you all have a phone, I'm sorry, if you have a camera with you, just snapshot this photo. Why this thing is coming back again? Why cannot lower hand? Okay. So now, please take photo of this so that you can keep it for your future reference. So progressive step for advancement in devotional service. What is a progressive step? Okay, the step-by-step process. So number one, we call Shraddha. So number one, Shraddha means faith, some kind of faith, a little faith. Okay, I think Bhagavad Gita is very interesting. I think I should just try it out just with little faith. And after that, from Shraddha, you go to the next step. We call Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha means association with devotees, right? So after you associate with devotee, then the third thing we call Bhajana Kriya or performance of devotional service. So like what we are doing here. Maybe you have some little faith, you associate with some of your friends, and your friends tell to come for this program, and now we are doing Bhajana Kriya. We are not studying, of course, we are just discussing, but this is called Bhajan. So we talk about Bhajana Kriya. So now we are discussing about Bhagavad Gita 1, 2, 3 until 18. That means it's performance of devotional service. So after your 18th day, there will be some kind of things that you feel that have changed in your heart. So what does that mean? Anartha Nivirti. Anartha Nivirti means decreasing of unwanted attachment. Okay. I have seen so many people after the 18th day of Bhagavad Gita program, they became vegetarian. They give up all these habits, right? They became so sober. Or at least they start to chant their rounds, 16 rounds. I got a person, as I say, from Suraman, she's chant 64 rounds a day. So like that. So that means all that it start to decrease. So when all the decrease unwanted things, that means now, or in other words, I should say, you will be at least out of stress. You know already the stress is nonsense. The stress is mundane. The stress is just a set of mind. When I'm going to surrender everything to Krishna, whether stress or don't stress, I don't care. Because after all, nothing matters. At least you come to that level, okay. That means it's called decreasing of unwanted attachment. When that thing happened, then you go to the next step. Nishta. Nishta means steadiness. Now you become very steady. And in that steady thing, then you go to the next level, ruchi, taste. Or in Tamil, we call rusi. Ruchi. That means you get a ruchi. That means you start to have taste. You start to have taste. Chanting Hare Krishna, read Bhagavad Gita. You start to have some kind of taste. And after that, what happened? Then from that taste, you have asakti. Asakti means attachment. Now, what attachment is this? Attachment to reading Gita and chanting Hare Krishna. So when that attachment becomes so strong, you go to the next level called bhava. Bhava means love. Then after you achieve the level of love, at last, then you come to the level of prema, pure love for Krishna. When you attain the level of prema, and that's when you are really qualified to go back home, back to Godhead, and never return to this place. So this process can be done in this one birth itself. Or it can take 2 births, can take 3 births. Maybe now you come to Bhajana Kriya, okay, finish. Then next birth you come, maybe you do these 2, Anartha Nivirti and Nishta. Then you die. Then you come back again. You get Rishi and Nashakti. Then die. Then after they born again, then you get Bhava. Then after they die again, then you become Prema. It's okay. Maybe it can take many births to achieve it. But of course, it's progressive. It's not that you're going to start all over again. Where are you going to stop? You're going to continue. Isn't that fantastic? But let me tell you one thing. You have already taken the path. Your visa has been approved. You know? Your visa has been approved to go back home, back to Korea. That's it. Your visa has been approved. Krishna has sanctioned tongue. Anytime you can come. So it's in your hand when you want to do it. Right? Because Krishna gave us a minute independence to decide when we want to do it. You can do it now. You can take your time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Krishna says, you have already approved. Take your time. So what we as a devotee, we are preaching, we are cultivating people and this. What we are telling, it's not worth waiting. Imagine to be born again from baby, go through all this kind of life circle, go through a lot kind of frustration, seeing the loved one passing away and everything, you know. At first, when I saw this, I thought I just a theory lah, okay lah, just talk only lah, you know. Okay. But when my father died, that's when I started to realize. You know, just imagine I born again, I will given another set of father, mother. Then I'll be loving him with all my heart, grow up. Suddenly I see him dying. How frustrating. So not worth it. Right? Of course, it's your decision. But how are you going to do it? Progressive. It's not that suddenly out of blues, that's it. You're going to be, no. You take your time. Okay. You also will study that Krishna will give you systematic step by step how you can do it. Yes, exactly, Prabhu. We won't fall down to lower animal, but we can be ghosts if we commit suicide. All right. Who are the ghosts? The ghost is the one, a person who given a gross body, who thinks the problem is so big, he kills the gross body. He forgotten the problem actually starts from the subtle. The problem starts in the mind. Okay. The problem is not in the body. Your hand, leg, everything is still okay. But the problem starts in our mind. Frustrated. Oh, I owe money with Along. I cannot tahan already. Along. But Along is just calling and disturbing you only. Until, oh, I cannot tahan, I'm going to kill myself. All right. So what happened? Say if you have a quota of to live in this world for 70 years. At the age of 40, if a person commits suicide, he has to be in a subtle form for the next 30 years at least. Then after that 7 birth, you are not given a gross body. So the person will be roaming around like a ghost. Okay. So the ghost is, of course, is in our decision. It's within our decision, right? Whether you want to be a ghost or not. But one thing is guaranteed, you will never fall into animal kingdom. Okay, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, can I also ask,
Yes.
will we fall down to a lower human life? That means this life we are okay, comfortable. Then next life is like, wow, very tough, man. Everything got to slog. Will it happen that way, or it will always be always got support one, that kind of thing?
No, Prabhu, see, like for instance, you asked a very good question. That's what we're going to discuss now. It doesn't matter in what environment you born. Say like in your next birth, you born into a multi-millionaire family. All right. You born to the family of maybe you become a great grandson of Bill Gates. Okay. But still, whichever family that you born to, still there will be suffering. Okay. There's no such thing that you can be, even if you born in heaven, even if born as Brahma, still you have to suffer. In these 3 planetary system, there's no way we can suffer. We have to go through some kind of pain. All right. But one thing is your consciousness and your effort is guaranteed that you're on your way back home, back to Godhead. But when you're born in this place, when you're born into this material plane, there will be suffering. There's no such thing suffering. That means you have to be born, you have to die. In between, you have to fall sick and you have to get old. It will happen. All right. But of course, you have taken a human body, but you are progressing in the path of bhakti.
Okay, thank
Prabhu?
you. Yes, thank you,
right.
Prabhu.
Okay, now let's look at 413. Chatur varnyam maya shristang gunakarma vibhagasha tasya kartaram apimang vidya kartaram avyayam. So according to 3 mode of material nature, Prabhu, this also answers your question. So according to the 3 modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the 4 divisions of human society are created by me, Krishna says. And although I am the creator of the system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. So what are the systems that we have? So that means we have a 3 modes of material nature, means we have a mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. And after that, there will be a goodness, passion, ignorance, there will be a mix. Okay. And there is a work associated with them. Example, if you are a Brahmana, you speak about Krishna every day, you are in the mode of goodness. Okay. And if you are a soldier, and if you are a Kshatriya, you are in the mode of passion. You're in the mode of passion. Then after that, when you look at these Vaishya, the business people, they are in the mode of passion and ignorance mix. And then you see that farmer, that means the Shudra, the laborers, they are in pure ignorance. So like that, there will be a mix. So that means, and from there, the 4 division human society are created. What is the 4 division? Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. He created that. Okay. You should know, but even though that Krishna creates all this, he is still a non-doer of this system. Okay. Say like, for instance, how? Namam karma nilimpanti, name karma pale spruha, iti mangyo bijanati, karma birsaya badhyate. So Krishna says, there is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire to fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in fruitive action of work. So that means they know that no work that affects me. Krishna is not affected by any kind of this thing. Even though he works, it's nothing affect him. At the same time, he also doesn't aspire for fruits of action. He do something expecting some result. No. And after that, he says, but one who understands this truth, those who understand the truth that Krishna doesn't need anything, okay, also does not become entangled. So that person also don't get entangled, don't get stuck in the fruitive reaction of work. Okay, what is the example like this? There's a jail. Okay, there's a jail, and the king visits the jail. So when the king visits the jail, it doesn't mean the king is a criminal. King always remains in his court and he remains as a king. But when the king visits the jail, he visits the jail. That means he's not the criminal. Similarly, when Krishna comes to this material world, we should understand he is not materially conditioned. He comes as he is in his transcendental position. You all understand that? So that's the example. So when the king visits the jail, it doesn't mean the king becomes a jailer. He doesn't eat the food that all that prisoners eat. Okay, so that's the thing. 24. Brahmarpanam Brahma Havir Brahmaknau Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. Then now, okay, what Krishna says in 24? A person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, absorbed. Okay, how the absorption happens? When we start to read and chant. Okay, we become more and more attached. We become more and more taken away. When we are fully absorbed in Krishna conscious, he is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom. We are sure to attain because of his full contribution to spiritual activity. So now the spiritual activity, that's what I'm telling you, when you're going to distribute book, when you're going to distribute Prabhupada, this Bhagavad Gita, imagine the amount of benefit that you are involved in that kind of activity. All right. So that means you are sure to attain spiritual kingdom. Okay. So in which the consummation of absolute and is what which is offered at the same time spiritual nature. That means when he start to work for Krishna, all his activities is spiritual. Everything is spiritual. Okay. 34. Tat vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti de jnanam jnaninas tattva darshana. Please remember this verse 434. Take photo if possible. So now, of course, Krishna was explaining what is the advantage of knowing me. If you know me, you will go back home just by remembering all these things. But of course, now we jump to the 10 verse later. This is the important verse. Then how to do it? Tat vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshanaha. So Krishna is saying, try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Krishna is suggesting that we should accept a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively. That means you have to inquire from him in a very humble way. At the same time, render service unto him. Why we have to render service to a spiritual master? Like if you go to school, you go to teaching, you don't serve your teachers. But here, why we suggest you to serve the spiritual master? Because he's going to reveal the ultimate truth to you, which will liberate you.
Thank you.
Okay, which will liberate you. Okay, so that means render service unto him. Then the self, then after the word Krishna, the self-realized soul can impart knowledge. So what does that mean, impart? He didn't say can teach you the knowledge, can give you the knowledge, can impart. So the impart means, that means when you start to serve your spiritual master, when you start to study with submissive attitude and everything, you will start to receive the knowledge being imparted in you. Or in other words, in local term, downloaded to you. right? But the question is, where am I supposed to look for a spiritual master? Okay, who is my spiritual? How I? So what we suggest, take Srila Prabhupada as your spiritual master for now. Srila Prabhupada speaks in Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, when you see the verse, you see the purport. That purport is the instruction that Srila Prabhupada is giving. So just by studying that Bhagavad Gita as it is, you are taking instruction from Srila Prabhupada. All right? Because the self-realizer can impart the knowledge unto you. Why? Because he have seen the truth. So we do not follow some layman or some blind follower. Because the blind leads the blind, we fall into the ditch. So now we have a fantastic package. That Bhagavad Gita alone, there is a Prabhupada is there to advise you accordingly. All right. So when you carry that Bhagavad Gita, you're not only carrying Krishna's instruction, Arjuna's conversation, but also you're carrying Prabhupada's equivocal instruction. Okay. So just by that, you are also serving Srila Prabhupada. Or you get a spiritual master. Until, okay, when we are ready, Krishna will send the spiritual master. But till then, we take Prabhupada as our spiritual master. 35. Now Krishna continuing. Yatnyatvana punarmoham evang yasyasi pandava yena bhutanya sheshani drakshasyatmanyato mayi. Now, who is that kind of devotee? Having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul. Okay, when we obtain that such a result, you will never fall again in such illusion. Okay, we will never fall again into that illusion. For by this knowledge, you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme. You see, all the living beings are part of God. Or, in other words, that they are mine. We become more and more matured. 36. Apichet asipa apebhya sarvebhya papa krittama sarvanyana plavenaiva vrijnam santarishyasi. Okay, papa. Papa means sin. Then we can talk about planeva, plavena. Plavena means boat. So now, what Krishna is saying is very, very interesting. And it's very inspiring. Even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, let it be, you can be the horrible sinners. Let's see, what are the horrible sinners is all about? What are the worst sin according to the Vedas? The number one worst sin in the list, the worst number one is to abort a child. Abortion is number one sin, which is so horrible. So horrible. Number one sin. Number two, killing a cow, slaughtering a cow, especially if the cow is pregnant, is even worse. Number three, killing a brahmana, a devotee. All right. So like that, there are so many, what they call hierarchy. There's so many sin. But of course, the worst kind of sin, number one, is to abort a child. Abortion is worst. Right. So I know a doctor who is a gynae doctor, but I heard he stopped doing it. Okay. I can give you one example. Pragalada Nanda Prabhu. He's American. He's in Las Vegas. He's an Indian by birth, Indian body. He studied in India and he was in Nairobi. And from Nairobi, he migrated to America. He went to that sin city called Las Vegas. In his lifetime as a gynecologist, he has done so many abortions. When he heard that this abortion is such a horrible sin, he gave up everything and now he's serving as a fantastic devotee. He stopped, he's in his service as a gynecology, is no longer doing abortion. All right. So, that means just imagine a gynecology who performs so many abortions, how terrible sinner he can be. Okay. Even that kind of sinner. Okay, what Krishna says here, apichet ati pape sarvabhya papa. Sarva, that means he can done all kind of sin. Horrible fella. Terrible sinner. Eaten beef, eaten that is horrible sinner. Even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, the supreme sinner, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, What is that boat of transcendental knowledge? That what we are doing it now, we are reading the Bhagavad Gita. We are trying to like appreciate and start to understand Bhagavad Gita. Like this morning, this boy Ram said, he's been thinking about Bhagavad Gita. He goes to bed thinking of Bhagavad Gita until the next day morning comes, he can attend the class. He's thinking about that. So when the person in the boat of transcendental knowledge, what Krishna says, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. The miserable life is just like a dark ocean. Imagine you are stuck in the middle of the, those who are from Penang, they should know, just go to the seaside at night. You don't see anything, pitch dark. The only thing you can hear the sound, the wave, whoosh, whoosh, but you can't see anything. You can't see anything, right? And imagine you are stuck in the boat in the middle of the ocean, in the pitch dark, and you are struggling for survival. You see the wave is hitting on your left, the wave is hitting on your right, the wave is hitting on your front, and the wave is hitting you at the back, and you are struggling and drowning. But Krishna says here, even if you are considered the terrible sinner, but when you taken up this, when you are sitting in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you'll be able to cross over the ocean of misery. You can cross over. That means there is still a hope for you. So, my dear Prabhus and Matajis, I would like to ask you this question. How many people do you think they should have a Bhagavad Gita? Do you understand why we are so hard up to teach Bhagavad Gita? Despite of my very active, I'm a trainer, as you know. I've taken a break for these 20 days. I'm not doing anything because I have no time to do anything else other than prepare for the class. What are the reasons for this kind of sacrifice? All right. Because I'm so grateful to Krishna, my Guru. I got this opportunity and I would like to share these kind of things to others. Similarly, what I expect from all of you, encourage all your friends to sign up for the next class next month. Or at least tell them why you should read Bhagavad Gita. Because this Bhagavad Gita can save them from the horrifying situation of birth and death. So now, C.S. Prabhu, what do you think about this? When you can be the worst sinner, still you can cross over. Imagine, will you be born in the animal kingdom?
Prabhu, yes, I see the apa tu the salvation lah. But the thing is a bit kiasu. Let's say if the worst, I'm a bit kiasu. I mean, I was just thinking like a kiasu pala. You are a worst sinner, and then you are born, and you have to be born many times to clear all the bad debts. You see,
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking lah. That means it doesn't mean that in one life.
But here, when you look at this, what Krishna says, despite you having so many debts, also is okay. You can still cross over the ocean of misery. So what? What is the worry now?
Okay, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yes or
Okay.
not? Does it make sense?
Yes, it's just that, like for example now, Prabhu, you are having comfortable life. I'm also having comfortable life. So we think, ayo, next life, I don't want to be born in farmers. I mean, in a fisherman's life. You see, I mean, very tough, man. Under the sun and all that.
True,
Is that thinking, lah, Prabhu? So that's why my question,
what thinking is right, Prabhu. The one thinking, he said, being kiasu is good. This should be your motivation to take these things up very seriously. That's the solution. As okay, as we go on in Bhagavad Gita, we will study that. But let me tell you in advance. If you want to get rid of all these things, that means you don't want to be kiasu. I mean, you don't want to be born in the family of a fisherman or whatever things, which you may, right? We don't know what's going to happen.
Yes.
Okay. So make a decision to put a full stop in this birth itself. And how to go to that level? Follow the RDC formula. Read every day. Chant 16 rounds daily. And distribute distribute Bhagavad Gita. You're definitely on your way back home, back to Godhead. Trust me. From there, you get the intelligence. What to do next? What to do next? What to do next? That's why what Prabhupada used to say, you know what? You have born so many times. Why not you just sacrifice this one life for Krishna? Just give this one life for Krishna. When we talk about the karmic, how to clear the karmic reaction and everything, all right? There's of course there's a very elaborate discussion we study in Bhagavad Gita as we go on. The age of Brahma, and we have been living here for that long, roughly 145 trillion, 20 billion life years, earth years. We have accumulated so much of thing. It's just like a funnel. And in the middle of the funnel, we call prarabdha karma. So anytime we do chanting, the prarabdha karma clears. Remember, I told you the prarabdha karma, how to get rid. Or read Bhagavad Gita in chanting, pop, the thing disappears. But you have so much of karma in the bit, it come back and fill up. You do it again, the thing disappears. So it takes a slow, gradual process. But Krishna knows what's the best for you. Okay?
Okay.
But we
okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, Hare Krishna. 39. Shraddhavallabhate jnanam tatpara sanyatendriya jnanam labdva parang shantim achirena digacchati. Okay, what he says, a faithful man who is dedicated to transcendental knowledge. That means a faithful man who dedicated to transcendental knowledge and who subdues his sense is eligible to achieve such knowledge. And having achieved it, he quickly attains the supreme spiritual peace. So the faithful man who dedicated to his transcendental knowledge means, okay, that means you are very study this scripture very scrutinizingly, right? And start to practice. So these are the people who will quickly attain the supreme spiritual peace. Okay, in East Bengal, okay, there's a story from Chaitanya Charitamrita. In East Bengal, there was a Brahmana named Tapan Mishra. He was confused after reading many Vedic literature. He was confused after reading all regarding their conclusion on the means to achieve liberation. Okay, the conclusion. What is the means to achieve liberation? He was confused. He approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and sincerely inquired from him to clear his confusion. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that in Kali Yuga, one can't achieve perfection. One cannot achieve perfection of life by being a bookworm. One can attain salvation only by chanting the holy name of Krishna. And the Shastra recommended Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama eva kevalam. Kalau nastieva, 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 gadir anyataha. 3 times repeated, nastieva, nastieva, nastieva. So that means he says in the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, Kali Yuga got another name. Another name is quarrel and hypocrisy. The only means of deliverance, the only way that he can deliver is chanting of the holy name of the Lord. There's no other way, there's no other way, there's no other way. All right. So this is the conclusion. So take the formula again. I'm repeating this. This is something that I have seen so much of miracle happen. Take the formula, RDC formula, read Bhagavad Gita, study Bhagavad Gita very religiously, distribute Bhagavad Gita and chant Hare Krishna. Okay. By doing this, you definitely can attain perfection. At least try once. See it. Try and see how much of things the impact is creating on your life. All right. So with that, we end the session today. Is there any questions or any comment?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
May I ask?
Yeah, definitely.
Prabhu, about the other sampradaya, the Rudra sampradaya, the Lakshmi sampradaya, all that. Are they also chanting the Lord's name also?
Yes, definitely, Mataji.
Oh,
like for instance, Vallabha Sampradaya. Vallabha is same with Kumara Sampradaya. Okay, they are very famous around this area called Bombay. They chant the name Vittala, 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 Vittala.
Oh, another name of the Lord.
And then and one of the acharya is Tukaram. You can Google it, Tukaram. Tukaram is one of the acharya, like how Prabhupada is or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Tukaram was initiated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. when he was initiated by this thing, so he went and he start to worship the Tukaram. I mean, start to worship that Vittala. Vittala means the deity of Krishna, like this, standing like this, like a boy.
Oh.
Right? So they all will be chanting Vittala, 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 Hari Vittala, Hari Vittala, Govinda, Vittala, 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 like that. They go on chanting that.
Oh.
And they attain perfection. Yes.
Oh.
So then other sampradaya like Vishnu Swami. Okay, now Vishnu Swami. Okay, what are the four sampradaya again? Vishnu Swami is one of the acharya. Another one is
Mara.
huh?
What
is it?
Madhava Acharya.
No, Madhavacharya. Then another one is Madhavacharya,
The Kumara Sampradaya.
Ramanacharya,
Ramanuja. Another one is
Madhava, and
The
what
four
Swami?
Kumaras.
Nimbarka.
Nipaka.
Nimbarka.
Nimbarka.
What is that? Nimbarkacharya. Nimbarkacharya, right? Wait, let me check.
Yeah, he comes under what?
The four sampradaya.
Four Kumaras.
Nimbarka Swami, yes. Okay, what is Nimbarka Swami's sampradaya? Why got the Nimbarka Swami? He climbed on the neem tree in Vrindavan. He climbed on that tree of this tree, Nimbarka, and from there he'll be screaming. He'll be screaming. That's why he called Nimbarka Swami, Nimbarka Charya. Huh? Just give me a second. Huh? Okay. So the Nimbarka Charya. So Nimbarka Swami Charya, you know, he'll be like, he'll climb on that Nimbarka tree. Okay, neem tree, and he will be like saying, okay, but of course, the Nimbarka Parambara and all these things almost disappeared. Rudra Sampradaya is almost disappeared. There's I think Nimbarka Charya, Nimbarka's Parambara, there's one or two, you see, but all the other Parambara, like very old, is like disappearing. The one who was sustaining is Sri Vaishnava and Brahma Gaudiya Vaishnava. And there's also a prediction by Ramanuja Swami. Soon in the future, there will be a Sampradaya will come with a teen tilak because they wear big tilak. They wear a huge tilak with a red thing. So he said there will be they'll come with a very teen tilak, and they'll be going to the street and singing this the name of Hari, and he will make sure that Yamaraj has no work to do. You know, there's prayer, no? There's one I forgot the Pasuram. There's a Pasuram, I mean, there's a verse that Ramanuja Swami sings. Suddenly he just looked up, he looked at the future and he started laughing actually. He'll have a very hysterical laugh. Ha ha ha, he'll be laughing. All asking why. There'll be a day will come soon in Kali Yuga. The Vaishnavas will be with the teen tilak. I mean, it's not a big tilak, but such a teen tilak. And they'll go to the street and start to glorify the name of the Lord. And because of that, Yamaraj becomes jobless. So, of course, the way he described it, like, you know, I'll try to get that verse and I'll share in the group.
Okay. Then
it's one of the Pasuram. They call Pasuram. Yes, Prabhupada.
So, because one devotee, which he tells me it comes from the descendants of Lord Ram's worshipper.
Okay.
But Lord Ram's worshipper then may not. Is it still under our Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya?
You are saying that devotee come from that family who worships Lord Ram, Ayodhya. That means
yes.
Ayodhya.
Okay. And they are, I think they don't chant the Maha Mantra. I think they chant Lord Ram's name.
Okay, now it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you get any name. There's a principal name, there's a secondary name. The principal name is called Hari, Govinda, Rama, Krishna. All these are principal names. There is a secondary name. Secondary name is Paramatma. Paramatma, or this Lokabala or something. That is a secondary name. So what including when you study that Sri Harinama Chintamani by Haridas, what they call? By Haridas Thakur. Okay, Harinama Chintamani. It says that it doesn't matter, you chant whatever, but when you chant the name, when you call upon the name of Hari, you will be liberated.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
there's one story that a wild boar attacked a Muslim man. Attacked a Muslim man. So that Haridas Thakur will be, Haridas Thakur by birth is a Muslim. So he said there's one story that a wild boar will come and attack. When the wild boar come and attack, he'll be screaming haram, 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 and he dies. Ram. So because of the indirectly he chanted the name of Hari, at the time of death, Vishnu Dutas came to take him. So even a person jokingly, unknowingly, or what? Of course, there's a lot of benefit. Okay, but when we are in this parampara, Brahma Madhava Gaudiya parampara, right? We follow the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that says by chanting this Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Where will you achieve? You go to Prema Bhakti. Remember the ladder we are talking about? In that ladder, there's so many things, Nista, Bhava, okay, and ultimately Prema.
Okay.
We'll go to the ultimate level of Prema. That means you want to like, when you want to like pass through all this, you want to like take a shortcut, you want to take a lift straight away. The ultimate way is to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra.
Okay. So,
because Lord himself advised to chant on that name.
So,
Yes,
so Prabhu, means that if the other sampradaya, they won't go to Goloka Vrindavan. Their goal is not to go back to Krishna and the Prema Bhakti. The other sampradaya maybe go to Lord Vishnu when they leave the material world. Correct me if I'm wrong, yeah. They go to Lord Vishnu's that planet or that what right
spiritual sky.
Spiritual sky. Then the what do you call it, the one that chanting Lord Ram's name, they will go back to the spiritual sky of Lord Ram's. Is it, Prabhu?
Okay.
Then the only way to go back to Goloka Vrindavan to Lord Krishna is to chant the Maha Mantra. Is that so?
Okay. When you look at this universal plateau creation, the final place first is Devi Dham. You go above the Devi Dham, that you come to the circle, the what they call the shell. There's an egg, like there's a shell on top. There's a border, and that border you see is Viraja River. Sorry, Vajra, Varija, Viraja. I think Viraj River, because down there is hell. There's another river. Okay. Can anyone update me? Can tell me what river is that? What down there is Viraj, up there Viraj. Okay. Anyway, there's a river on top. You pass through that river. The first thing that borders between the material world and the spiritual world is Kailash.
Oh, Kailash, where
Kailash.
Lord,
yes, and
Lord Shiva.
Not Lord Shiva, Lord Sada Shiva.
Oh, Lord Shada.
Sada Shiva is the original Shiva, because Shiva got many Shada Shiva, Rudra, and all this, right? So the one who lives there is Sada Shiva. That's the border. And after that, from above Kailash until after that, you see everything looks like a lotus petal. When you see the lotus, the middle, there's a middle hole, and from there there's a lot of petals, right? So all petals are different place of different forms of Krishna. There's a planet Ayodhya. Okay. Anyway, okay. So in that planet, all that spiritual sky, okay, like you love Narsinga so much. There'll be a place called Ahobila Dham. So in one of the petal, Ahobila. Ahobila means the place where Lord Narsinga appeared. What happens if a devotee becomes so pure devotee or Lord, nourishing a Dev, he goes to the Ahobila Dham.
Oh.
So
Okay.
then, like that, one example I'm giving you. So after that, when you go pass up, you come to the level, the spiritual sky and Madhura, Goloka, Vrindavan, in between. The step
Ah.
before that is Ayodhya Dham, where Lord Ram was there. Where
Oh.
Lord Ram is.
Oh.
And
Okay.
above that, of course, you go to that Goloka, Vrindavan, Mathura, Dwaraka. There will be a place of Dwaraka. There will be a place of this. Example, the Pandavas, the five brothers, they go to the Dwaraka Dham. Why? Because Dwaraka, Krishna was there as a king. So for these brothers, they take Krishna as the king. I mean, they only worship in the form of king. That means Dwaraka. All right. And some people like to worship Krishna in the form of baby and all this. It's called Goloka Dham. Where there you'll be playing and having fun with Krishna. So it's like that. Which is better? Everything is good.
Oh.
Everything is good. All right. Everything is good. That means if you could just pass through I don't know what river is that. Viraja or Viraj, River Viraj or Vajra, Varja, something. My memory is.
What is the name of the river when we material to
The river between material world and spiritual world.
Ah.
What river is that?
Nobody in temple I can ask. Okay. Hare Krishna, the river between material world and spiritual sky, what's the name of that river?
Viraja, yes. Viraja River. Between the spiritual and material world is a body of water known as the river Viraja. Yes, correct. Right. They call Viraja River. So there's Viraja River. So if you could just pass that Viraja River, you're already very, very fortunate. You'll never come back. But together, it's not a joke. Because in between, when you talk about, there'll be a 7-layer mind, intelligence, ego, and one by one layer that you have to pass through before you could break and go there.
Oh.
It's all very tedious understanding. All this is mentioned very clearly in Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah. But of course, we will have a very rough idea in Bhagavad Gita, because Bhagavad Gita mentions in a very rough way. Of course, I will draw some pictures and show what are the things. But the details is surrender to Krishna. Only by the will of Krishna and by the blessings of Guru, spiritual master, you could pass through this thing easily. If not, it's very tough process.
Yeah. And pro in that spiritual sky, that what do you call it, planet, the one that the poster that they are distributing one, the spiritual sky, there is one planet that is the Buddha planet in the spiritual sky. So does it mean, because one devotee was asking me, oh, for Buddha planet, so whoever worship Buddha seriously can go to Buddha planet, is it?
Yeah. Okay, this Buddha planet is not nirvana. So the Buddhism that what being practiced now, it is not that original Buddha. They call Gautama Buddha. Because in Gautama Buddha, that means the Buddhism that has been spreading now, that has been spread, it is basically okay. First of all, what is their doctrine is to be perfect. Buddhism is perfect. You become a perfect person. At the same time, you follow the middle path. And after that, end of the day, nothing matters. You just go and disappear in wilderness. That means you merge into nothing. Nirvana. Nir means nothing. Vana means place. You merge into the place of nothing. Right? Because, but this is there'll be a certain people who are still following the real Buddhism. Right? Because one of the place, because wherever Krishna descends from his original form. There's a planet Buddha, from there only he come down. It's not that he comes down and build one house there. Okay, now I came in the Buddha, so I build one house in spiritual sky. Not that way. Yeah.
Oh,
The
actual Buddha. So the actual Buddha's teachings is not nirvana. The actual Buddha's teaching
I'm
is
not
not.
very sure, Mataji. I'm not very sure about that. No, I'm not
Because
so
the
sure.
not,
That I know that the current teaching it is totally out. Even when you look at Dalai Lama eats beef. He loves to eat that
oh
calf. There's a baby
oh
cow.
because-
Uh,
oh
he's not even eating adult cow. He's eating baby cow. There's a calf. There's a calf. There's a kind of meat from the baby,
oh
right?
oh
So
okay.
they
Because-
keep myself healthy. And nowadays,
oh,
you look at Thai Buddhism, they said anything that you drop, I will eat. You eat pork, you put
oh.
anything.
Because that
No,
that
it's
one
not
is the small, because Buddhism was differentiated to the three level of teachings: the Hinayanas, the Mahayanas, and the Theravadas. Which is
Theravada. Yeah,
Theravada is the
Sri Lanka.
no, then the tantric will be the Dalai Lama one, which they eat meat. The Hinayanas and the what do you call it, the Pali one, the one in Sri Lanka, they eat meat also.
Hmm.
The Mahayanas, they don't eat meat.
Oh, I
So
see.
I'm not sure that the what do you call, maybe CS Tan can explain to us much more further. I think he's Mahayana.
Yeah. So
Tapo.
that
Yeah.
whatever it is, as you have evolved from Buddhism, now you're here. So now you should pay attention more into research on the mystery of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita.
Because
No
one
point talking
devotee was
about that.
asking
I
me.
think
Because
I think
one Dr. Tan who is in
I
Ipoh,
think the
maybe I ask Dr. Tan in Ipoh, who is a Subhat Maharaj disciple. He was asking about this. He said, "Oh, is the one who's practicing Buddhism? Oh, they can go to Buddha planet." Then I was thinking, how?
Yeah.
But then we need to get the real Buddha's teachings. They are
I
really
think
serious.
I
Yes,
think
Ah,
Alina, you are going out of the way. Last
okay.
time we have been Buddha, been so many Dalai Lama, or now we are going back to Krishna. So why
Krishna,
are you
yeah.
going backwards? We are going
Uh,
forward.
I'm asking this question on behalf of Dr. Tan, so I can answer back Dr. Tan later.
Tan from
No,
Ipoh,
let
is
him
it?
do. No,
Ah.
no, he's also one of the Hare Krishna new lah.
Where? From
No,
Ipoh or
he's in
Tai?
In Ipoh.
Oh, that Dr. Tan. Oh, okay.
Ah.
Right. That young doctor, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You see,
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
come to this subject, he's teaching us to go back to
Yeah.
Maurya Sampradaya. We don't go backwards, we go forwards. Now
Yeah.
you are digging, going backwards. So that is not very healthy to me.
Yeah.
Means don't means now can I just straight away tell him whoever practice Buddhism now cannot go back to Buddha land?
All these
Right?
things.
You must understand, we cannot make
Who
that
are you to
assumption.
tell them?
We cannot make that assumption that those
Okay.
people are practicing that, because you must understand that all of us have individual relationship with Krishna, you know. So individual relationship with Krishna, even just like imagine that like for instance, like Ajamila, out of all these sinful lives, suddenly he called Narayana and Krishna came and saved him. But that means, can we say that everyone who, I mean, it's individual relationship.
No,
For the sake of knowledge,
me-
that, but of course, we cannot come to conclusion, we cannot come to the conclusion that this will happen, that will happen. We don't know. We must be very careful.
So
We cannot make any assumption.
so then can we say that whoever practice serious Buddhism, they can go back to Buddha planet? I tell
No,
you
we
that.
cannot say
Those
that
who are
also.
No, those who are
It's
practicing.
not up to you to say.
No, in
Then
other
I have
words,
to
what I
answer him. I have
no,
to
no.
answer him. He was asking this question. I still couldn't find an answer for him.
I tell you what.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna. I think
Yes,
you have
sir.
to find that in Srimad Bhagavatam that this Buddha
Exactly.
is the son of Anjana. You know who is Anjana? No?
Yes, very good.
So it's very different thing. They are
Yeah,
not
very
practicing.
different.
So that's what I think. So this is the conclusion. Which Buddha, the exact Buddha you are going? Son of Anjana.
Oh, son of Anjana, not the Gautama Buddha who is the son of the
Come
king.
on, don't. Hey,
No,
Linda,
not
don't
the-
waste all this lah. Now
No
Prabhu
lah,
is teaching us. Why you
Okay,
want
okay,
to go
okay.
back?
Can. Okay, later I ask Pataritawan Prabhu later.
Later you talk.
Later. Okay, sorry taking your time. Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Anyway, okay. I mean, I'm happy that somehow or other your inquisitive triggered, you're trying to look for some kind of ideas.
Answer.
It's better. But let me tell you one thing. You are already on your way back home, back to Godhead. You have already found the truth. When people ask, as what Chong Prabhu said, is fantastic answer. There is a secret mentioned in Bhagavatam. You start to relate from there. There is the planet. See, for instance, I am a person. That's when I come out and I be that person. Example, right? So when in this spiritual sky, there are millions of petals. There's millions of avatar like Narasingha, and there's what they call Buddha, Ramachandra, Haladara, like the horse. All that. So there they descended down. So after they come down, all their devotees or pure devotees will follow them, go back there. But of course, you see that whether they are right or whether they are wrong, it is not within our days. That's what Prabhu says, son of Anjana. But the Buddhists, that what we are heard is different. Like for instance, Kalki. Now the future, the Kalki also was predicted, right? And the best thing, you know what? When Srimad Bhagavatam was written, the day that Srimad Bhagavatam was composed, Buddha was not even born. So they say in the future, there'll be a person, the person will be born in the son of Anjana, he will going to create and this and that. So like that. So the best thing when people ask you that question, refer to Srimad Bhagavatam or refers to any senior devotees. So they'll be much easier and convincing. Okay. And there'll be a question also, Prabhu, how does work keep the soul and body together? How does work keep the soul and body together? What does it? What do you mean, Prabhu? I don't understand your question.
Yesterday we go through, he said, without work, we cannot maintain the body.
Oh, okay. Okay, without work, you cannot maintain the body. Means imagine you sit in one place, your body will go haywire, right? Or your body becomes stuck. You have to do some kind of activity. You have to move around. What happens when you sit in one place? All right. And secondly, when you say without work, that means you have to do your job. To get a job, you have to do your work. That's when you start to get your income. And through that income, you sustain yourself, food, family, and everything, shelter. Yes or not, Prabhu? So they said without work, we can't maintain our body. Without work, we cannot maintain our body. Means we cannot maintain our physical self. So Krishna is refuting. Krishna is refuting that Arjuna's argument. Say that I rather go to the forest. I'll become a mendicant. I rather go there. I'll start to do my meditation. I refuse to fight and all this. So Krishna says, without doing that, you can't even maintain your body. Your body will become weak and sick. So that's what I meant. Okay, Prabhu?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So anyway, today was such a good conversation. Alinda Ho Mataji was nice. And of course, my mentor and also my Sifu, TK Tan Prabhu, Trivikram Prabhu. Thank you for your answer. So interesting. And to everyone, thank you so much. So we continue tomorrow morning on chapter 4. Then tomorrow evening, we're going to do chapter 5. Okay. Chapter 5 is going to be very interesting because here we're going to talk about Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness. How are we going to act? That means yesterday we studied Karma Yoga. We studied Karma Yoga. Today we study Dhyana, there's transcendental knowledge, Jnana Yoga. These two combined, there'll be a topic tomorrow. What is Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness? All right. So till then, have a nice day and take good rest. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, good night. Have a wonderful day. Vancha kalpatru kripa sindhu bevacha paditanam pavinibhyo vaishnavyo namo namaha.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
Prabhu.
Bye.
Thank you.
Prabhu. Bye, boy.
Sorry, bro.
Gauranga.